Welcome to ECO314, Study Session 5, Consumer Behavior. Introduction. In this study session, we will examine the consumer behavior. Why do they buy what they buy? In other words, we will examine how the consumers make their buying decisions. We will also explore some of the thinking from economics, psychology, sociology, and other behavioral disciplines. Learning outcomes. When you have studied this session, you should be able to 1. Explain why consumers buy what they buy. 2. Explain those factors that specifically influence consumers' behavior. Concept of consumer behavior. Specific consumer behavior varies a great deal for different products and from one target market to the next. In today's global market, the variations are countless, ranging from an almost intuitive reaction to shopping for food through perhaps a quite extended process in the case of the consumer durable. The process of consumer decision making is indeed complex and individual, often uniquely so. This makes it impractical to try to catalog all the detailed possibilities for every different market situation. For example, how and why a given customer buys a specific brand of cookies may be very different from how and why that same customer buys a bicycle, and different customers in different parts of the world may have very different reactions to either product. Decision-making process of consumers. The question to be asked here is, how do customers make their decisions? This question is more difficult to answer than one might at first expect. In reality, the decision-making process is an extended, complex, and often confusing one. In making decisions, customers may have a number of factors in mind, such as experience. If from past experiences a customer does not like a product, no amount of advertising for the product will succeed. The customer will usually take practical experience into account before any other factor. Lifestyle. Apart from the physical experience of the product, the prospective purchaser may also demand that it conforms to his or her lifestyle. This is essential in the decision-making process of customers, because what they see and hear about any product goes a long way in shaping their views. It should be recognized that the most influential promotion may have come by way of the recommendation of a friend, from an opinion leader, or from their family. Prices. This refers to what the marketing offer is worth. Faced with the available choices, the consumer may compare the value for money of the alternative brand. Point of sale. The customer will, unless he or she decides to make a visit to another shop, be limited to the products on offer. Major factors influencing consumer behavior. In taking final decisions, buyers are highly influenced by a wide range of factors, and not just those relating to the obvious features of the product. Examples of the factors most generally discussed by marketing theorists are geography, social class, occupation, organization, psychology, lifestyle, peer group, culture, economics. Economic factors. Many of the more theoretical marketers, especially those coming from economic discipline, believe that the main influence is economic, particularly in the case of the industrial sale. They are of the opinion that economic needs guide most consumer behavior. The economic value that a purchase offers a customer is an important factor in many purchase decisions. However, marketing managers must be alert to new ways to appeal to economic needs. This is because most consumers appreciate firms that offer them improved value for the money they spend. Some economic needs are economy of purchase or use, convenience, efficiency in operation or use, dependability in use, improvement of earnings. Since a product that one person sees as a good value and is eager to buy can be of no interest to someone else, we can expect to understand buying behaviors without taking a broader view. Age and life cycle. People buy different goods and services over their lifetime. They eat baby food in the early years, most foods in the growing and mature years, and special diets in the later years. People's taste in clothes, furniture, and recreation is also age-related. Marketers should pay attention to changing life circumstances, divorce, widowhood, remarriage, and their effect on consumption behavior. Geography. For most products or services, geographical variation may be quite significant. There may be fundamental differences in taste between regions. For instance, the Yorubas will be happy if their soup is mixed up with some quantities of stew, whereas this may not go down well with a typical Igbo man. Social class. A social class is a group of people who have approximately equal social position as viewed by others in the society. Almost every society has some social class structure. In most countries, social class is closely related to a person's occupation, but it may also be influenced by education, community participation, where a person lives, income, possessions, social skills, and other factors, including what family a person is born into. Because of such differences, people in different social classes show distinct product and brand preferences in such areas as clothing, home furnishing, leisure activities, and automobile. Occupation. A person's consumption pattern is also influenced by his or her occupational groups that have above age interest in their products and services. A company can even specialize their product for certain occupational groups. For example, a computer software company may design different computer software for brand managers, engineers, lawyers, and physicians. Culture. Culture is the most fundamental determinant of a person's wants and behavior. Whereas lower creatures are governed by instinct, human behavior is largely learned. Each culture consists of smaller subcultures that provide more specific identification and socialization for its members. 4 types of subcultures can be distinguished, and they are nationality group, religious group, racial group, and geographical group. Peer pressure. Peer pressure influences a person's behavior. By peer, we mean persons who are of the same social status. Peer pressure is strong among young people. Most young people go after certain goods and services upon the recommendations of their friends. Lifestyle. A person's lifestyle is a person's pattern of living in the world as expressed in the person's activities, interests, and opinions. Lifestyle portrays the whole person's interactions with his or her environment. It reflects something beyond the person's social class on the one hand or personality on the other. Psychological factors. According to Kotler 1991, a person's buying choices are also influenced by 4 major psychological factors, namely motivation, perception, learning, and beliefs and attitudes. We shall examine each of these factors. Motivation. A person has many needs at any given time. Some needs are biogenic. These needs arise from psychological states of tension such as hunger, thirst, and discomfort. Other needs are psychogenic. They arise from psychological states of tension such as the need for recognition, esteem, or belonging. Most psychogenic needs are not intense enough to motivate the person to act on them immediately. Kotler is of the opinion that a need becomes a motive when it is aroused by a sufficient level of intensity. A motive is a need that is sufficiently present to drive the person to act. Perception. Perception is the process by which an individual selects, organizes, and interprets information input to create a meaningful picture of the world. It depends not only on the physical stimuli, but also on the relations of the stimuli to the surrounding environment and on conditions within the individual. Learning. Learning describes changes in an individual's behavior arising from experience. Learning theories say that a person's learning is produced through the interplay of drives, stimuli, cues, responses, and reinforcement. Beliefs and attitudes. Beliefs and attitudes are acquired through acting and learning. A belief is a descriptive thought that a person holds about something, while an attitude describes a person's enduring favorable or unfavorable cognitive evaluations, emotional feelings, and action tendencies towards some object or idea. Summary. In this study session, you were exposed to factors enhancing the decision-making process of consumers. Also discuss what the major factors that influence consumer behavior. This is the end of study session 5. Thanks for listening.